first movie is called Spacehunter. It's subtitled Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. And this is the first of a whole deluge of 3D movies that are scheduled for release later this summer, including Jaws 3D, Amityville 3D. The sad thing is, Spacehunter is entertaining enough in 2D that 3D only slows it down and kind of destroys the fun. The movie stars Peter Strauss as a buccaneering spaceman who answers a mayday call from a spaceship that's crashed on a plague planet, and his mission is to rescue the marooned spacers before the locals kill him or he dies of the plague. And in this scene, he teams up with an orphaned earthling who lives on the planet, and she's played by Molly Ringwald.
I forgot to tell you, this thing doesn't float.
There's shallows in here. You just gotta look for him. I'll track you. Shallows are on that side. Second bath in 2 days. Ought to do me for the next year.
Dickie?
Good breeding man. I'll bet breeding with us would kill him.
I'll take that bet.
Later in the film, Strauss enters the Forbidden Zone, populated by creatures half dead from the plague.
We can be friends. Just let me go.
No, you don't understand. I'm very old, and I need you. I'm tired, little one. Of course you are. You see, when you give yourself to me, there's nothing left for you.
Hang in there.
I love that absolutely standard music that's out of every space movie ever made. Spacehunter is not a, you know what I mean? This movie is not a masterpiece, but it's a reasonably entertaining movie. It has some good performances in it. And here's my question. If you're going to go to all the trouble to make a good movie, why mess it up with 3D? Because no matter what they say about these new 3D processes, they all make the picture look dim, look murky, and washed out on the screen, and the 3D effects themselves are only a distraction from a good story. Looking at those same scenes in 2D right here on television, I can relate to them a lot better than when I was ducking to get out of the way of the foreground in the movie theater. And frankly, I can't recommend this movie in 3D, but if it turned up on cable or on television, I'd look at it.
And if it turned up on cable or television, I wouldn't. I think this is an awful picture if it were in 1D. All it is he picks up this girl. Will they get together or will they won't? What do you think's going to happen? Then they get to the cave. 5 minutes, the movie's over after he confronts that guy they call the overdog, that creep hung up there with the heavy breathing. I thought this was an empty little movie, and your point about special 3D is well taken. All that is effective are the titles that come way out. The rest of it, you look like you're looking through a telescope.
They do not. They brag, as a matter of fact, that they don't throw a lot of things at the audience.
I would have preferred that.
The question would be, if you're not going to throw things at the audience, why do it in 3D? I defend it, though, as a basic kind of 50s space opera, a silly kind of let's go to another planet and run around and have adventures and look at strange things kind of movie.
I thought it was less interesting than any of the Star Wars pictures that are shot in
that's for sure.
That are shot in 2D, and this is a rip-off to me.
Well, I'm not recommending it if that'll make you any happier.
It'll make me any happier, okay.
Thumbs down on Spacehunter, the 3D movie that was sabotaged by 3D.